How's it going, everybody? We just launched our new Discord. Link is in the description down below. If you enjoy talking Pioneer and hanging out with other people who enjoy the format, please go check it out. Thanks. Oh, well, this is an easy mulligan. This is an easy keep. Probably pitch. Put the Otawara back. I can play this and put our extra land into play here. Green white, interesting. Landing. Play this. We're gonna sack our 2 lands, use the green floating to play this. Put this into play. Get in there, friend. Alright, let's save the chat settings real quick. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Let's go and Toddler Rage. This up so that Jack can have as much room. Beats 0, go. Ooh. Well, turns out we're against Ascendancy. Is generally a fine matchup. We just don't have a lot going on right now. I'm just gonna play this tapped and pass. I mean, I guess it could be Winota, because I know some of the Winota, yeah, some of the Winota lists were running Paradise Druid, so I guess it is Winota, which is a much better matchup, on the assumption they don't have main deck answers. Right, I'm gonna cycle here. We just need to look for some card draw. Nothing exciting. We have unlimited mana. We just need to find something like that. All right, 4. All right, game's over. And cast Balagid, pick up 4. I'm gonna keep doing this for a minute. Seven. Really want to just hidden strings here. Your library. Our sideboard. Alright, we don't have Pier in our sideboard. Okay. Grab strings. Four. Haven't played our land yet. Turn. Dig. Here. 4. Got our game actions going. For us. Yes. No. All right. That's omniscience, mastermind, game, approach, that's approach, yes, cast, and cast again. Okay, not too bad. Turn 4, managed to be able to go off pretty concisely. All right, so against Winota, March of Swirling Mist is pretty good. Anger is pretty good. Path of Peril, also not bad. Definitely want these 3. Want these for sure. What else? What do we not want? Need those, need these, need these. Iteration can go. Here's fine. I'll stay. It's probably a little slow. If we have this, we don't need the hold, but maybe. Your poor Omni. I'll take up a hold. Good old 61 main special, as it goes. Alright, well, my rule of thumb with this deck is if it can't play, you don't have Lotus Field or have access to a Lotus Field via scrying, it's not worth keeping. It's an easy keep, get rid of Omniscience. A little bit on the slow side, just because we're not going to be doing too much. Actually, I'm going to play this so that we can scrying on 2 to get the stage. They didn't have a 1-drop, which is nice of them. They'll have a 2 though. Innkeepers, yeah, Druid and Innkeeper are the worst ones for us there. Alright, let's grab a scrying. Or sorry, stage. We already have the Blast Zone. To play anything too hateful, we can always search up a Beseiju. Chariot's annoying, but not that big a deal. Alright, well, Sylvan Scrying. For Beseiju. Lotus Field. Get rid of these 2. You're up. Let's just hope we don't get Winota here, but so it goes if we do. Yeah, this looks like one. No, just a lair. Okay, that's pretty good for us. Really want to draw Anger of the Gods here, or really anything. Take 8. Shimmer, huh? We play stage, we float. Alright, stage. Let's cycle. Have Shimmer. I don't know how important Shimmer is. This has to be blue. Can cycle, untap this, get a draw. I'm just gonna pass. You ideally want to just wait till next turn to use this, but here's the Winota. 4, 8, and 12. So we can kill this. Yeah, they still get 5 triggers. Alright, game 3. Yeah, non-grazer hands are tough when they sort of have it locked up like that. That's okay. Alright, well, this hand's everything we want more. So turn 1 we'll put in these 2, scrying for a stage, plus Lotus Field, untap, and just hope to go off. Grazer hands are really important in these kind of linear matchups where it's just a race. I have the elf this time. Trying. Green mana, but just overtapped. Okay. I'm just gonna pass. So I might just pitch this to phase out. If they slam a Winota and go to attack, just phase out the Winota. But Winota can't play Field of Ruin. That's not a concern. I mean, we're still in some danger here, but I get to fog them for a turn. Okay, now I get to fog them for another turn. Not at all bad. So this time we might just... we just have to let it happen. We can turn this way. Here. Well, I guess we only have to phase out 1 creature. So we should be 3. Now we be 1 mana short. I think we just have to let them hit us with 1 Winota trigger here. Or sorry, 2 Winota triggers here. Spirit, sure. Keeper, sure. What humans could they hit that I care about here? None. I'm just gonna let them have this. 2 triggers isn't a big deal. With a blocker, I'm not scared of even a Huntmaster plus a Blade Historian. Uh, that actually is like the only thing I care about. Shit. Alright, well. That might get us. Now we did draw any land. No, it only costs 2 more, so we still can cast this. That's fine. Everyone be cool. Three, 9, 10, 13, 15. Just want to make sure we don't go to 1. 10, 13, 14. Good enough. As long as we don't go to 1, we can still cast our things here. Blue, black, green. Alright, so for this, we need Omniscience, Ear, 4. Omniscience Peer Pour is our best shot here. They have to give us Peer Pour. Otherwise, they're just lose on the spot. They could give us Peer Omniscience and hope we don't hit, but it's a very risky proposition. Or sorry, Omniscience Pour. Yeah, Pure Pour. I don't know why they had to make all the cards in this deck that matter sound similar. Alright, so they give us Pure plus Pour. So 46 cards. We want to do this first. Gives us draw the majority of our deck. Draw 3 more. For this land. Okay. We're in business. Now it's just clicking the buttons, as they say. Making sure we generate enough mana. The hidden strings anywhere in here? There we go. It'll make our lives a lot easier. Yeah, what I saw of it was cool. I only got to catch a little bit of Connor Rand's stream, but it looked really cool. Just been brewing up some sweet ones. Care of the Peaks is one of those cards that I always enjoyed. Alright, cast this. This game is over. We just have to kill him. Yeah, killing Winota when you're dead on board is a real treat. Yo. Patch08. Thanks so much for the follow. Appreciate you. Cast this. This. Wow, very nice. Yeah, it seems like you're brewing up quite a lot of really nice decks there, sir. Absolutely killing the brew game. And there we go. Nice little turn 5 win. Yeah, this deck does just get to win out of nowhere, which is nice. So I guess untapping with 9 mana isn't quite the same as nowhere. Definitely one you got to be able to beat. Well, this hand is not quite it. This hand is short a land, huh? And we're on the play, so we get 1 draw. Oh, okay. So we get 1 draw at any land that isn't a Lotus Field. And then we're in business. These are kind of the hands I don't mind keeping. Yo, Chef Wheaton, thank you so much for the sub. Really appreciate it. Gotta move that sub counter up to 19. Yeah, these are the close hands. I think I'm all not in love with it. Hand's worse though. Alright, this is the best hand we've seen so far. Put away most of our stuff. Keep these 3. Yeah, a long time Lotus Field player, glad to see it's still relevant, but misplaying Breach? Ah. Yeah, the thing, oh, against this again. The thing about the Breach period was it just coincided where all of the best decks were just ruthlessly efficient combo decks, and that's just, it's tough to sell as a format when everything's so efficient. Hey, how's it going? We just beat Winota, but now we're playing against Fable Winota on a mull of 4. Looking for a Sylvan Scrying off the top. You're not a Sylvan Scrying at all. If we hit a Scrying there, I think we're in business, but as it sits, we're still gonna need, we could just draw a Lotus Field here. Pre-companion Lotus with Breach. Yikes, that's just so many. Re-nerf, yeah. That's the secret, it was a lot. The blue-white build on the Pioneer subreddit. I don't know the exact one you're talking about, but I'm sure I did see it. I saw somebody got 6th in the SEG and they were talking about the build. I took a quick glance at that right up, if that's the one you're talking about. Alright. Do the same thing we did last time. Bring in our marches, bring in our anger. Behold, a dark petition, and a galvanic. Easy. Yeah, that blue-white list looked interesting. If it's the one I'm thinking of, yeah, if you have a link, I can take a look at it. Try to peruse the subreddit. The one using Gideon of the Trial. I think Gideon of the Trials is an interesting one, but hey, Ace Martinez, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Thanks for hopping in the Discord. Saw you hanging out in there earlier. Hope you had a good time tonight. Yeah, Gideon's an interesting one. It's an old blue-white classic. Yeah, the Altar Fables are nice. Why is the Discord command not working? Blasted. Alright, I'm just gonna grab it because you hate to see Discord stuff not working. Here. There we go. Yeah, this was the list that won the... This hand's pretty good. A little slow, but I'll keep it. This is the list that won the... God, I can't remember. The PTQ. We have to set up the Discord stuff for Patreon. Right now, it's just you get a little access to your own little private clubhouse, essentially. But we have to get everything set up where there's a little bit of something. Hey, how you doing tonight? Glad to see you popping by. I just really want any land. We want to replace the stage that's going to die to this Lotus Field. Glad to see you popping in, Ace. Yeah, it's one of those things where people were asking about the Discord, so I wanted to get it set up, but we have plenty to do still. It's a work in progress, and I am moderately weak with technology. I am doing my best, but I can't promise that I am in any way. Ooh, it's actually bad for us here. Can't promise that I'm up to snuff with where I'd like to be. Play this. Playing Redain. It might be worth considering. It also might just be like a small enough percentage that I'm not sure it's worth being overly concerned about. Truth be told, I think small decisions in deck building like that are often percentage plays that will get you less than the time you spend thinking about them. They might be worth it. I'm just a skeptic of them, to be honest. So I think what the most common deck with a Redain is like 1 of Redain in the sideboard for Winota. It's not like in Standard where it was a 4 of. That's fair. Spellbinder, how rude. They're able to take our Vizier and we can't cycle it anymore. Which is sad indeed. So $7 tier, that must mean you're from Canada, friend. I did notice the Canadian rates are slightly different. But Patreon does all the conversion for me, so I didn't have to figure any of it out. Make sure we have extra land. Yeah, it's 5 on the US. Grab Blast now. Grab Sanctum. Alright. No big Winotas. Let's see if we can survive. Yeah, I appreciate the Patreon just does it for me, because I have a couple of people actually from Canada who are subscribed. And I noticed it too, because it was the $1 tier was like 1 and change Canadian. I thought was funny. Just an idle observation, I suppose. Alright. We can win. We'd really like to keep this in hand, so we really want them not to hit another Spellbreaker. Or Spellbinder. Alright, no Blade Historian. That's what we need to see here. No Blade Historian, no Spellbinder. Alright, Winota's fine. 10, 12, 13. We can keep this around for a turn if we want. Is a really good Chrome Mox. I think we just minimize our damage here. I think we either have to win this turn or we're dead. Is about where I'd put it. Alright. Start the unlikely journey. That's not great for us. We can, I think, make that work. Start with a Shimmer here. We'll have enough mana left over if we hit something worthwhile. Like Pour. Ooh. Okay. I think we win now. That'd be nice. Yes, yes, no. So we could cast Omni here, but we want to start with Leer. Lets us just start flashing back all our spells here. Much cheaper. And Omni only lets you cast spells from your hand, so we can't actually leverage the Leer ability. Alright, 4 is gonna net a mana. This 4 is gonna net another mana. Now we can Omni safely. Yeah, Leer is a great addition to this deck. Want to make sure you always put it in the graveyard, especially when you have Leer. That's a mistake I've seen quite a few people make, is you just like instinctually cipher. Hey Eddie, how's it going? Glad to see you on here early tonight. Alright, let's cast some Shimmers. Start digging. All right, emergence, good enough, or should be. Yeah, once you've established a good lock, this should be enough, but see if our opponent makes us do it out. Here, pour, acquisition. Yeah, I feel on vacation already worked out in the morning. There you go. Love to see it. It's a good day, Eddie. All right. Start from outside the game and peer target us. Oh, there you go. Kirby, sweet. Big fan of Kirby. I feel mostly moved in. One of those things where like it'll be another paycheck or two before I feel like I can like go out and make sure I have everything I want to like customize stuff. But more than happy with where everything's at right now. Because I just need to go out, get a couple things for the stream room. There you go. Man, everyone's betting on the Canucks, it seems like, tonight. Alright. Got game number 2 here. Oof. Really need one of those Grazer starts, though, in this kind of a matchup. Ah, they lost in overtime. There you go. That counts, right? You still get your dinner. They get a point, you get a dinner, everybody's winning. I will say, I know I have quite a few followers from Canada. I will say hockey is about the only major sport I don't particularly follow. Adding that they make the playoffs. That's a little different than just winning tonight. Oh, this hand would be great with a Lotus Field. Without Lotus Field, I think we go down again. Oh, no. Alright, we'll keep this one. Just doing it the old-fashioned way here. Lost up at $600 dinner? Jeez. Yeah, the NFL offseason is going to be interesting. It's already pretty wild. Patriots hopefully continue their bounce back. All right, I think this is just what we got to do. Yeah, I'm not a big Deshaun Watson fan, and I know quite a few Browns fans who have boycotted the team now thanks to Deshaun Watson. I think the NFL would do well to stop just letting people who are constantly getting accused of sexual misconduct into the league at high levels. Yeah, Baker Mayfield. They're doing Baker a little dirty. I'll say it. They gotta take hidden strings here, that's fine. Love to draw something to do with this mana, but we don't. And they already know our hand, so that's fine. They are constricted on mana, though. So if we're able to... If they stay stuck on mana, we're in good spot. But if they draw another land, we're in trouble. I can't imagine they keep a hand like this without a Winota. My hope is they just, like, slam a 2-drop here, or a 3-drop. Another elf? Okay, well, they're missing 2 colors, actually. So they can't play Winota on this. Has to be a red or white land. Okay. Alright, you're up. So strings gets us 1 mana. Or sorry, 4 becomes 6, 2 mana. Pats don't make the playoffs. The AFC is the most stacked. Pats didn't really do much to add to the team. It's true, but they were a pretty solid team And with a young quarterback, I guess their second year is always rough, or potentially rough most of the time. So we'll have to see how he looks. There's a good chance that we get bopped around a little bit, but like after 20 years of dominance, you just gotta accept the rebuild as it goes. It's just the cost of doing business. Can't really put too much weight of expectations on a team that's rebuilding that aggressively. All right, so I want to do green, blue, black, green. 4 makes 2. I want to spend blue, black, black. Yes, yes, no. So this will be black, this will be green. This was the first league of the night. Actually started a tiny bit early, for me anyway, but yeah, for the most part, this is the first league of the night. I have a couple decks potentially in the queue, but nothing too wild. Little Niv, little Bant Spirits, but grab Omni, Pier, Pour. And we have to grab Pour to give us mana. We need to play Pier and Omni, because then if they give us Pour plus Pier, we're fine. If they give us any combination of these two. This is like your default package with Emergent Ultimatum. Always has been and should always be. Because like in this situation, they can't give us the Omniscience, but we're just going to get to draw our deck and should have more than enough resources to go off here. We can do it many different ways, but you can even fetch an Ugin here and just raft the board. Oh, I'm glad you've been enjoying it. I've been trying to be more consistent with my schedules. I'm a little erratic, just as a human being, but I'm trying to get the tier lists out on the videos out on Wednesday. I have a set schedule for when the Patreon posts go up and things like that. So I'm trying to do it. Still a ways off from being full time, which I think would guarantee the most consistency. But while I'm working my way there, I want to make sure there's a lot of content. Plus, I know the guys over at Playing Pioneer, who I've been working with a lot recently, have been trying to get some more consistent coverage on every day, so that we can, you know, start to just have a little bit of Pioneer every day for those who enjoy the format. Yeah. Where is Bay of Witches? I'd like to cast this. And then we should have a dig through time. Last video game I purchased. God, what was the last video game I purchased? I think Persona 4 Golden on PC. Sadly, I haven't had a whole lot of time to play many games. I've mostly just been playing Super Auto Pets when I have time to play games. There we go. Nice little 2-0 against Winota. Not in games, but 2-0 in matches. That was a Molda 4? Molda 5 there in that game 3. Molda 4, yeah. So we have a win on a Molda 4. Love to see it against Winota. And our opponent also kept a little bit of a sketcher, but it's only fair. Ooh, Pokemon's a good one. Yeah, I win a lot of Molda 4s with Lotus Field. You don't need too many resources if your opponent can't kill you, and as long as you can get a mana advantage, almost any card in your deck is good. Oh, this hand does not have access to a Lotus Field reliably. We have to search. I don't like these kind of hands. Like, those are the kind of hands that I think people keep too often. Yeah, this hand's great. This, get rid of this. Rigno, Balaged, Viseju, Stage, Field. I think that's one of the biggest percentages you can pick up playing this deck is just like don't keep mediocre hands. Just like if you can't play a Lotus Field by turn 3 guaranteed, there's better hands. Like you saw, we just won a mull to 4. We're gonna play Winota again. Viseju. Yeah, usually just behold for whatever set of cards you need to win as soon as possible. Or if you're against Narset, you'll like behold, and if you're playing control post board, a lot of times you'll have like your not a bad draw. Now we can also get a let's grab another Viseju as like protection, or just grab Sanctuary. Viseju's not a bad one. Otawara is actually, I'm gonna grab Otawara here. I'd rather have Otawara given we're gonna have enough mana to just bounce like a Winota. This list won the PTQ, but if you do exclamation point deck, you can also find my current deck. Yeah, a lot of times you just end up in a situation where right, that's not too bad for us. You end up in a situation where with this kind of deck you just are in this position where it'd be very difficult to die. Your opponent can't really do much about it. So we can do this. Hidden Strings. So Hidden Strings gives us 2 mana. And then we can tap this to have a tapped Lotus Field and untapped Lotus Field. We have a tapped Lotus Field and an untapped Lotus Field. No mana floating. Vizier gets to 3. Vizier gets us to 3, and then I don't think we're able to go off this turn. I think we would need one more Hidden Strings. What I am going to do, though, do we even want to do anything? I don't think we do. We're just going to pass. I think if we had one more Hidden Strings, we could have done it. But I think we end up 1 land short. Dock, play Winota. Oh. No, okay, they're dead. They're super dead. Yeah, if you draw on untap. That's the thing about this style deck, though, is like I don't feel no big reason to rush when we have with this Otawara to have stopped a Winota if we had to, but yeah, this is lights for sure. Just deterministics only here. No need to chance it. Black, Hidden Strings. Blue. Just make sure, what do we have in hand right now? Okay, we have enough. We don't need to go too wild here. Just do it this way. 20. These things. We haven't hit a That was cast Dig to look for it. Dark Petition, Fate of Wishes will do it. Approach. Cast. Cast. Approach. Cast. Oh. Alright, so same matchup. I'm bringing these. I cut the Behold, cut the Petition, cut the Iteration. Third verse, same as the first. So if we 3-0 Winota convincingly, I feel like that's got to be a good sign, right? As far as why Lotus Field is a tier type deck, is this build specifically has so many tools against the control decks, and then if you're able to beat up on Winota reliably outside of their best possible hands, then not a bad place to be. All right, this hand has turn 2 Lotus Field. Snap keep. Nothing about it. I've been watching a yeah, Lotus Field, the Winota Slayer. Not how we drew it up, but except what we got. Play this. Then we can shimmer plus this. Then we have a second shimmer cooked up, looking for some stuff. I've been watching a lot of Letterkenny, so for some reason in my head, I just have Pitter Patter get after. Alright, we have a Blast Zone. We could just take the Pier. Could also just take the Vizier. I think I want the Vizier here. How's it going, Terminal Justice? Yeah, the deck is really good. It's one of those decks that once you've learned to play it, even if a different iteration comes along, like I played a lot of Lotus Field, and it'll change every once in a while, but the core of the deck's the same. And like there are a lot of players who will maximize the corner percentage and things like that. And like that's very good, don't get me wrong. But one of the big benefits of this deck is that like most of the time, if you're just doing reasonable things, taking reasonable game actions, you're in pretty good shape. We'll pour over here before we wrath the board. Poor little Grazer. Yeah, I think this Grazer's gonna have to get blown up, unfortunately, but we'll cycle here. Draw. Just shimmer. 6 mana. That's not a bad one at all. All right, Grazer buddy, you served your purpose. Yeah, we can beat one Winota trigger. We have this Beseiju as well. Hope they whiff here would be nice. Yeah, 3 Winota triggers would have been tougher. I mean, if they don't hit a Hunt Master here, we're in reasonable shape. Well, there's the Hunt Master. Now we're in a little bit of trouble. Alexis Garcia, I assume that's for Hearthstone, but HS, thanks for the sub over on YouTube. What can we do here? Not much. I'm kind of just pinned. Alright, game 3. Maybe we are just supposed to take the shot of them not killing us with 3 triggers, because we have the Grazer to block. So if they hit 3... They hit 3 6/6s. We block 1, take 12. Take a lot. Alright, well, this hand's fine. To put in this temple. Let's find something big. Well, we don't want that, so that's fine. Alright, we're gonna have a lot of mana, but we are also in need of drawing something. They don't have an elf, that's good for us. Field. Gonna cycle this now since we can pick it back up with Balaged, and we just want to start finding cards. Alright, well, we have unlimited mana. Mana is no problem. Any card draw spell gets us most of the way there now. Right. Not ideal. Gonna pass. One Winota trigger is not the end of the world, and having a bunch of mana will do us good. Okay, well, Archon's a pain. Got plenty of answers and plenty of mana. Armor's not a bad one. See what we can find. I am Andy Herring. I'm familiar insofar as I've seen that Bryant Cook played it a lot. Wasn't really ever anything that blew me away, truth be told, but I think I preferred this version for the most part. It just the Wish is even worse into cards like Archon, where you have to like take it a little bit slower. And like I never enjoyed the Wish package wherein you have to cast that turn. Just it makes you a lot more susceptible to counterplay. Whereas I feel like this build is a lot more able to just reasonably attack the opponent from an angle that's hard to interact with. Alright. Gonna need them not to hit too hard. The Historian hits hard, but not quite yet. That's a problem for next turn. They hit a 6/6, we have to block it. Kenrith. They can give trample. So that's 10, 14, 18, 20. So we do have to block. So this will eat 3 of the 4. Block here. Yeah, no problem. I think it's fine. From what I saw from the videos from Brian, it looks interesting. It's just not I think enough better that I'd want to play it. All right, well, we went to 3, which is important because the way Pier is. All right, so we need to find Anger of the Gods. We need to find Anger of the Gods and something else. Okay, well, March is actually pretty okay here. What about March Pour? Yeah, March Pour is pretty good. Okay. Pour here. Or to start. Masterminds won't quite get it done. This. Alright, we can phase out their team beginning of combat. I'll be honest with you, I don't know if phasing lets us play other spells. Might. I honestly don't know. If it does, then yes, we could have. I don't actually know how phasing interacts with that. Is that they don't exist. Ah, yeah, then we probably could have. Then yeah, we easily could have won there. The boat guy comes in as well, yeah. This is one of the first times I have this league is one of the first leagues I've run March. Card has been very good every time I've seen it cast against me. Yeah, the only punish is another one. But then we can masterminds for the second March and then go from there, I suppose. Harriet's not going to do it. Alright, then we should have this locked up. We're all learning. It's a learning stream, right? That's how it works. Missions. Start with Shimmer. Emergent. Nice. We're at 3, so we can peer still. Peer, pour. We already have Omniscience, so let's peer, pour, Fae. No, we need to peer, pour, Hidden String. Yeah. So we have mana. What a non-committal statement. What do you mean non-committal statement? Yeah, I really enjoyed the Esper marches. Actually, I've enjoyed all of the marches except the red one, I think. I think if I've even seen the red one do anything. Oh, your message above. Fair enough. Have I played the green one? Have I played the green one? No, the green one's the only one I haven't played, sorry. The green one and the red one I haven't seen do anything. Because the green one's the really bad one, right? I think I tried to play the green one in limited and someone explained to me that it doesn't even work the way you want it to. Stampius, thank you for the follow. Really appreciate you. Should be up 3-0 against Winota now, which is nice. Draw our deck. There we go. Jeffrey Silver, how you doing? I feel like that name's familiar. Okay, well this doesn't have a Lotus Field, which is the only thing I don't like about it. We're on the play. I don't mind this hand, but I really don't like this hand. Yeah, no problem. Well, Bitter Blossom triggers are different because losing life is something both players have to keep track of to maintain life totals, and it was under the old times considered a detrimental trigger. Jeffrey Silver, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Maybe I'm remembering wrong, but I thought I'd seen a Jeffrey Silver at the finish at the SCG events. Maybe it might be a different one, but might also just be a username. But under the old rules, detrimental triggers were things that you couldn't miss because, like, that's something you could generally miss, and that would be bad. And generally, you could take advantage of that. Misunderstood Chalice at an 8-round event was so convincing that my opponent just stopped for a second, said okay, and we move forward. That happens all the time. Magic is a unbelievably complicated game. It's why cheats of opportunity are the most common types of cheating in Magic. And it is generally because it's a very complicated game. You tend to have things like that happen where there's a lot of complex interactions, and yeah, floating green, response to them casting a 1, then cast Ancient Grudge. Ah, but Ancient Grudge can't hit Blood Moon. Ooh, Mardu Greasefang. Well, this is probably a good matchup if we find this. Yeah, that happens all the time. Like, it's especially at like competitive events, you really want to try to be on top of it. Always call a judge on yourself if you notice it, etc. Things like that. But it's a complicated game. A lot of things happen. It feels bad when it happens. Like I've cast when I was first playing competitive events at a PTQ, I cast a Slaughter Games, and I could not cast Slaughter Games legally in one way, by tapping my mana, and that just happened to be the way I tapped my mana quickly. And like things like that suck, but it's a part of the learning process of the game, unfortunately. I grab a Seiju so we can hit a Parhelion if they get it. Yeah, the grayscale art's tough. I know a lot of people who don't like the basics for the grayscale, but for the creatures, I don't mind it as much. I drawn a card and my opponent wouldn't let me put Bitter Blossom on the stack. Yeah, that I would just always call judges in that situation. One, the judge might rule differently, but yeah, it's a situation where like you put that card in your deck to make 1/1s, so it's reasonable it would be deemed a trigger you missed. Yeah, learning to come up with shortcuts in your head for how to not miss triggered abilities in paper is a big part of playing paper. And you're still gonna miss them, right? Like no matter how many years I've played Magic, no matter how many years I've played at high level against other players, like you're gonna miss stuff. The number of times that I've had people walk over and be like, you missed that bobble trigger or things like that. It gets better and it gets easier, but it never goes away. I think one of the big places where like pro players get their advantage is like they slow down enough to be able to, you know, take in everything going on so that they're able to miss less of those triggers than other players. Ooh, that was a good buy, Geronimo. Fable has been everywhere this week in Pioneer. Literally everywhere. Counted incorrectly. Do your exiled card, ask your opponent if you drawn or not. Said no, immediately call the judge. Yeah, like, rule of thumb, just always call a judge. They are arbiters of the game for a reason. I was a level 2 judge for a very long time. I actually just so happen to have one of the SEG judge playmats as my current mouse pad. But yeah, a lot of those situations are not great to try and solve yourself. Just bring a judge in. Oh yeah, paying $1 for those is a great buy. Oof, we might just die to not hit anything off that P4. Well, 3, 6, 2, 4, 7, 8. All right, we're not just dead, but we're getting close. That's a big flex. Oh, there you go. Nice to see you. I thought your name sounded familiar, and not to put too fine a point on it, but your name is unique enough that I was like, I'm pretty sure I don't think there's more than one Jeffrey Silver I would have noticed that quickly, but congratulations on the finish. Well done. One O bracket, F and M. Thought it was a little extreme. Felt he baited me into a judge call. I mean, judge calls aren't bad things. It's a misconception that a lot of people have, but judge calls are good. They strictly bring the game back to the place it should be and try to arbiter a fair situation. There's no real penalty to judge calls. I know a lot of people get very concerned about judge calls and things like that, but trust me, the judges are there to do their best to make the game as fair as possible, not to lead to any sort of benefit for any player in particular. Yeah, lost Den of the Bugbear at $3. Oof. Yeah. Like I said, I was a level 2 judge for a long time, and a big part of my like intro speech at events was that's fine. A big part of my intro speech at events was just call a judge. No matter what, if you don't know what's going on, if you think you know what's going on but you're not sure, just give me a call. They paid me to be here. I got nothing better to do. You don't want to lose a game because you didn't call me. And almost immediately, judge calls went up and we were able to run events much smoother. Like I said, I think people are afraid sometimes of the interactions, but judge calls are great. And like anything, you can get good judges and bad judges, but on the whole, the judge program has historically always done a very good job of training people. 2, 4, 7, 8. We'll go to 1. 1 is not 0, but we can't cast Peer, which is the real problem. And they could just Epicure us to death here. Follows a random card being put on the bottom from your hand. That is lucky, but it's all random, right? All random. So I've had that happen at a team tournament before where somebody saw the top card right before they were supposed to draw it, and it was the card we needed. It got shuffled away. It was big doom. Well, this game is not looking good, but for Moldafor, we have a shot. Really do. We can't cast Peer, which is the real problem here. Yeah, hashtag results oriented. But that's just me. What do we got going here? Deadly Dispute, mill some more, sure. Opponent's churning. Alright, so we need to hit like pour into Emergent. Yo, Adronimu. Thank you for the sub, greatly appreciate you. Move this sub counter up to 20. Those that you are new here, just launched our new disc. Oh no, can't stay away, got us. Damn. Be sure to join the Discord, we just launched it. Still a work in progress, but we've been having some really good conversations in there. A lot of people were talking Pioneer today, which is great. Oh, we did get Epicured. You hate to see it. All right, so against Mardu Greasefang. Definitely want the Swirling Mists, and I think that might actually be it. Maybe these. Probably just ends up being the same as the Winota sideboard. Very lenient on mistakes, but it sucks when you give leniency and later your opponent doesn't. That's true, but I'm a big believer in the idea of like depending the event size, right? At FNM, I am the most lenient person you'll meet for the most part. Competitive events, as lenient as is required, I suppose. But yo, the Great Revel, thanks so much for the Prime Gaming. Those Jeff Bezos bucks, I'll take them. Spend them better, I promise. Appreciate you. Yeah, it's tough, but it's one of those things that like you can't be kind on the expectations of others being kind to you. But yeah, I've definitely lost some games at FNM to like being lenient, and I think that's just the cost of doing business. I think in building a good community at a store often involves being able to give up a little bit of EV to build a good welcoming environment. And like the places where you don't have to be lenient are the competitive places. Yeah, the real events you show up, different mindset. But FNM, I think it's a very important part of the community building side to have a little bit of leniency with things. All right, we're gonna keep this hand and put away this grazer. Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. Being nice at any event is long-term high EV. I think for a long time there was like a weird stigma. Oh, please don't Thoughtseize this. Oh no. If this Sylvan Scrying goes away, we're kind of doomed. There it is. I think being nice at all events is kind of the high EV play. Some of the best connections you'll make in Magic are just through like being a reasonable and decent person. And like so much of Magic is just being able to work with other people, being able to do things like that. Yo, Chef Wheaton coming in huge. Thank you for the 5 gifted, my friend. Went to a lot of regulars too, which you'll love to see. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, like, what is it? 6 of my party for my wedding are people I've met through Magic. You meet a lot of great people, but I think that one of the things that limits both your ability to play Magic at a higher level and enjoy the game is the ability you have to make meaningful connections with other people. Because there are really great people, really great players in the game who will never reach their highest level potential just based on the fact that they can't work with other people well. Yeah, I knew a lot of people who got made fun of Eddie, but the world changed a lot, and luckily, luckily I think now Magic is a game that, you know, may not be as well known as others, but at least it's not something that's mocked, which is always nice, especially for some of the younger players. Nice to see some really serious Pioneer content. Unfair to play Pioneer and not be subscriber. Yo, Geronimo, appreciate you. Like the community, you're growing a lot. Hey, your English is great. No need to apologize. You're doing great. Appreciate you. I'm glad you're here. Rule monger a lot in paper, and it usually hurts me. People miss triggers, but right is right. Magic's more fun when it's in the rules. I agree. Yo. Thank you so much. Your Eccles coming in with those hot 250 biddies. Appreciate you. Oh no, they thought he's the top of our deck. Man, everyone's just being so nice to me today. Appreciate you all so much. Yeah, we'll take that on top. Any spell. Oh yeah, I am. I don't know if you can tell from my general just like constant shifting in my chair, but I tend to need to focus on things. If you ever hear shuffling, I just keep a stack of basic lands to entertain myself if my opponents are taking a while. So I get impatient all the time, but I try to use it to think about lines that I could take or things my opponent could be doing. And you know, I understand that like Magic's a complicated game. Rushing your opponent's not going to do too much for you, with the exception of once it gets into slow play, right? I'll say something, and that's the judge side of me. But you know, I think the pace of play that I play, and especially at paper, is not sustainable for most other people. I had a friend in college who played Magic a lot, and one of the biggest advantages they had was that they played really fast, and other people would try and match their tempo, sort of like subconsciously, because they're like, oh, I'm playing so slowly. When in reality, my friend just played really fast. And what it ended up doing was caused people to make a lot of mistakes they wouldn't otherwise make just from trying to keep that same pace. And I think being able to sort out the impatience of not playing at the pace of the other person's a very important skill in Magic. And so when somebody's playing slower, I take a deep breath and understand they're just playing to their speed. At least I try to. Don't take everything I say perfectly. I'm sure I sit there and fume some amount of the time, but I try not to. Ugh. Exactly 6. All right. Good way to address slow play. Kind of a big problem in the last few drafts and cause a lot of draws. For the most part, if someone's taking a... There's no hard and fast rule anymore. It used to be like X seconds, but like that's not really conducive to an actual game of Magic. the way you got to think about it is if somebody's taking more time than you feel is reasonable, and reasonable is subjective, of course. You have to sort of put yourself in their shoes. You can just ask them, hey, would you mind taking a game action? Or in the interest of making sure that this match finishes, do you think we could pick up the pace of play a little? If you have a judge, you can have a judge come and watch you, things like that. But that's usually if you tell somebody like, hey, would you mind picking up the pace just a little, it makes them conscious of how long they're thinking. It doesn't always work. Some people will still play slowly, but it gives you a little bit of a chance to let them speed it up a little on their own before you bring over a judge. Asking people to pick up the pace of play. There's a great clip from GP Reed Duke, which I want to say was GP Richmond, where he asks a former Hall of Fame player, former because they were voted in, Saito. He goes, "You're playing a little bit slowly. Would you mind picking up the pace?" And it's a great example of that exact thing of letting people know how to pick up the pace a little without being rude or overbearing. Nothing illegal playing with foreign cards, right? No player who always plays with Japanese cards and rushes. No, nothing illegal playing with foreign cards. One of the things you do want to be cognizant of with foreign cards is that you might need to ask for the Oracle text, but Oracle text is legal for all players at all times. Just call a judge, or now I think you're allowed to look it up on your phone independently. Just double check that with your local judge, and you can just look up the card. The opponent should be able to give you the card name as is required by the rules. If you don't know what a card does 100%, and I mean every line of text, look it up. Yep, GP Richmond should be on YouTube. It was a legacy GP where they just followed Reed Duke through all 15 rounds. One of my favorite GP experiences to watch. All right, we're back on that mall life. Kind of just want to look for exactly Lotus Field or a way to get it. Oh, thank you for the congratulations. Yeah, I would love the OP announcements to be good. I want to have faith in it. I've been burned so many times that it's hard for me to, but like I have my GP trophy just off screen over there. Like I love getting to play the big events. They're my favorite thing in Magic. There's nothing like going to a 1,000-person event, walking in the hall and like waiting for round 1 of day 1 to start. That's unequivocally my favorite thing in Magic. So if GPs came back, I would be a very, very happy individual. Accelerado playing against another Pioneer grinder. Our last opponent also played a lot of Pioneer, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so they're playing the Enigmatic at Home deck, as we lovingly called it. This deck 5-0'd Enigmatic Incarnation 5-0'd today with Path of the World Tree and a bunch of 1-of creatures. Yeah, it really was tough during COVID. Like I didn't go to very many local events even once COVID was more in the lower part. So I've been missing out on a lot of Magic and time with friends, so I'd love to get to be able to do stuff like that. Yeah, some of the GPs around Toronto would be a lot of fun. I used to love going up because being on the East Coast, I'd go to every Montreal, which I know isn't particularly close to Toronto, but I know a lot of Toronto. I actually don't know what the way to phrase Torontonians, if that's correct or not. I knew a lot of people from Toronto who would go to the Montreal GPs, and I'd see them there. I know like Bostonian is how you say Boston, but I'm terrible with geography. To go to Magic Fest Detroit and then it was canceled. Yeah, a lot of the Torontonians. Okay, see, we got it. Yeah, a lot of the events. I had some friends who like had plane tickets ready to go to events and had to miss them, unfortunately. Start with a Shimmer here. Well, we can play Omniscience, but we don't have anything to do with it. I'm just gonna Shimmer and keep looking for combo cards. 4 is a combo card. We'd much rather just try and go off than Okay, not bad, not bad, not bad. What's this? We want to start making some other colors here so that we can potentially pay for Emergent Ultimatum. This. Green. Black. Use the blue cycle. Yeah, I played something like 200 GP matches or something like that, and it's still just my favorite way to enjoy the game. I just, man, wish I could play even more. There was a period where I was grinding GPs pretty aggressively, but I never got to do the full grinder experience. Not that I think I could now, but I would love to be able to give it a shot and play what ones I could. Alright, this should be a predeterminate. They gave us Omniscience, so you only give somebody Omniscience if you think they have nothing in hand, and we've been sculpting our hand pretty aggressively. Never went to a GP, went to a lot of SCGs. That's pretty reasonable. I lived in Massachusetts for a long time, so we'd always do the GP Worcester, GP Providence, GP Baltimore, like all the SCGs as well. We'd always go doing all those things. There we go, easy dub. I want to say they definitely went to Upper New York State because there was always SCG Syracuse. I don't know if there were any SCGs in Canada, now that I think about it. Now that I'm stewing on it for a minute. Yeah, I don't think they ever went that far up. I keep forgetting to move this so that you can actually read chat in the VODs. Sorry about that. Yeah, an hour away from Cincy and Columbus. Yeah, that's not bad at all. That's a good spot. I always ended up in the position where we could do the really East Coast ones, but I never really drove out to the Midwest ones. Yeah, West Virginia definitely makes the SCGs more accessible. I love the SCG circuit. Like, I would play it a lot. We top forward SCG Philly in 2019 as a team, which was a lot of fun, but there was something about the Pro Tour that I always wanted to chase. Excuse me. This is... We definitely probably want naturals. Well, not really. I don't even know what I want against them. Do we even need... Like, I know I want Ugin, but I don't know if I want Ugin in my deck or I want to just leave Ugin around. Don't really want any of these. These could be Path. Yeah, I don't mind Path to Peril, actually. Rid of these. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, SCGs in Canada, except for IQs. Yeah, face-to-face tour, I know, probably took the spot of the SCG tour up in Canada. I know whenever I went to the GPs in Montreal, you'd run into the face-to-face team in the booth. I actually had face-to-face sleeves from a GP at one point. Alright, I don't hate this hand. It has everything rolled up. It is one of those medium hands I said you shouldn't keep, but I think with the Shimmer on the draw, I'm going to give it a chance. Could be punished if we never find a Lotus Field, though, so my words will ring quite true if that becomes the case. Alright, well, we found a Scrying, so we're lucky. Always lucky. The real trick. Yeah, the chasing around the competitive events was always my jam. I played a lot less Magic Online, actually, than I even play now. Back then. I mean, I played a lot, to be fair, but I used to just chase the paper events, so Moto was always testing for me, and then I'd go and play a lot more paper. It wasn't until really the pandemic that I started grinding a lot more Moto again. Even then, I don't think I grind as much as a lot of the people I know who do, but the downside to being busy on weekends, you can't usually find challenges. Try to squeeze them in where I can, but leagues late at night are usually the epitome of what I get done. All right, blue one, Shimmer. Balaged's not a bad one, or we could Shimmer, but I think I'm gonna Balaged because we already have everything rolled up, so I just want to have protection against the Thoughtseize. Face stuff's all modern now, so might buy back into it, grind out Hammer or something. I've heard Hammer is not looking too hot right this second, but again, I would take anything I have to say about modern with a grain of salt, just from what I saw on people's streams today. I'm usually watching like Spike's stream or someone like that during work. Bin Collector. Well, probably gonna have to take a pour here, I bet. Yeah, this has been a very good league for Lotus. I mean, we didn't run into blue-white, which this version is teched out to try and attack specifically, but if people are moving off of blue-white for any reason, Lotus Field has a very good matchup into all mid-range decks. For the most part, I mean, you can tech against it, but where Lotus Field is most scared is against the heavy aggro discard decks. I don't know if Mardu Grease Fang is quite what I would qualify as, but it's still, because it's basically just red-black blood splashing the Parhelion combo. It sort of counts. Counts enough. Yeah, I feel like Modern's tough to keep up with just in general, because like the power level and the card quality is so disparate that what's good one week is almost always still good, but the only thing that's really true for is like the money pile decks. Everything else is very contextual, which is tough if you're not a constant Modern player. And especially with the Luris bans definitely shaking stuff up. Yo, Eddie, enjoy your games. Catch you when you get back. Enjoy Kirby. Yeah, opponent's thinking hard here. I mean, I feel like you have to take the pores if you don't already have a way to deal with our lands here. I mean, it could take strings, but like I said, we have the hand kind of wrapped up. So whatever, yeah, it takes pour, it makes sense, but I think if they take anything other than pour there, they're just gonna get run over just by pure card advantage. Ooh, Blast Zone's a good one, but I'll just ship it. See what they do. Once again, I can't imagine they're able to play Field of Ruin, but if they do, they get me. Sort of. I mean, I can do some fun tricks with Vizier. Alright, you're in there. What do you got for 4 mana? Eidolon, huh? Alright, well, that's fine. We can just pump up this Blast Zone. That's true. Definitely Modern's mana base very different and very good. Very different beast. I'm gonna pour here as our 1 spell for turn, and we're gonna pump this Lotus Field. Or sorry, not Lotus Field, this Blast Zone. Yeah, most of the time it's okay. The mana bases in Pioneer are pretty good. There's a little bit of pressure on some of them. The more aggressive you are, the more pressure there is on your mana base, to be fair. It's almost entirely the aggro decks that tend to get problems. We can just blow this up now, but in case they have another 3 mana spell like a Archon or an Eidolon or something, I'm gonna wait to blow this till end step. Canopy lands could be okay. It's just a matter of like, why do we need them? A lot of the loss was to Mardu, Greasefang, just the red black blood version part of it though. We didn't get Parhelion. We just got run out by discard and aggressive starts. Yeah, modern needing Price of Progress would be a real beating. Yeah, if you had the other fast lands, there'd be a lot more we could potentially do. It is definitely tough. Can't cast another spell, friend. 6 mana. Pump it. 4. This. That. The opponent is now realizing what's about to happen. Alright, so we just want to be careful of interaction here. I'm going to do this. See if they counter it. They don't. Good to know. Good to know. I think I'm just going to get... I'm just going to Balaget here. 4. There we go. Get rid of one of these. We have all the things we need. We just need to keep going. Might not be able to kill them this turn, but do, depending on what we get here. Now we certainly can. Green. Nice little turn 6 here. We want Pour, Pure Omniscience. You've gotten tired of hearing me say those 3 cards. I'm sorry, this is just how Lotus Field is. You just do the same thing every game. Some amount of time you die, but most of the time, and this is why I think Lotus Field is a very, very powerful high-tier deck right now. You sort of get to do your thing. Very few decks can reasonably punish you, and then you just go from there. All right. Round. Cast Leer. Dig. Mastermind. Seiju. Or just taking any cards really, as long as we. Whoop. Yep. There we go. Nice little 4-1. We beat Winota 3 times, so that's a pretty good indicator, I like to think. That was a pretty solid league. Hey there. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you've enjoyed this content on either Twitch or YouTube. If you did, please like or subscribe. If you didn't, be sure to leave a comment down below. I promise not to read it. Until next time.